What's up? It's your boy Will Henry, God's Will Fitness. Hey, I got my shirt off, right? I just got done taking a shower and I had some things on my mind. I had some things that I want to talk to y'all about. And you know, I've missed some time with my vlogs, so I definitely got to make sure I get them in and I can be consistent. So this is vlog number 14 if I'm not mistaken. Right, I already talked about resistance, I already talked about cardio, and I already talked about nutrition. And when you bring all those things together, all those things in one lump sum is programming. Right? You need programming, you need structure. I think we talked about that at the very beginning. You need to know what you're going to do when you go to the gym so you don't waste no time. Your workout will be more effective, and then your overall transformation, your overall time that it takes to hit your goals will be efficient, right? So we got to factor that in. We got to factor in programming, and programming is going to take in the resistance training. It's going to take in the cardio, and it's going to take in those nutritional needs that you need to see success, right? So who does the programming? Do you do the programming? Does an online website do the programming? Does a trainer that you work with in your local gym, in your local area, do the programming? So that's the thing. What's the best way to program an efficient workout? To program an efficient transformation? And the first thing is knowledge, right? We can look on the apps, Nike apps, fitness apps, and they can tell us certain workouts we can do, right? But at the same time, that's not a program. That could be an exercise for the day, but what do you do the next day? Are you working the body parts you need to work, or are you working the same thing every day? Do you even know which body parts you're working other than lower and upper? You know what I'm saying? And some people don't even know the difference between the two, right? So if you don't understand these things, you definitely need to work with a professional. Right, I am a professional, and I guess that's why I would recommend it. Not to be selfish, not to promote myself, not to market myself, but I work with a professional myself. I work with a trainer myself. I do training, I do the kickboxing, I do the boxing. So that's a part of my program. Yes, that's in my program, but I need somebody to push me, to help me stay consistent, right? To help keep me accountable to the cardio needs that I need to see success with my programming. So you got to understand, I'm coming from a client perspective and I'm coming from a trainer perspective, right? So you got to understand this, right? Do you do your own thing? And yes, I understand that sometimes we want to be self-sufficient, right? Sometimes we want to be independent. But as I've talked to y'all, as I've told y'all before, we need others. How can we make things work in the long run without others, right? We're gonna need somebody to help us, to give us information, to give us knowledge, right? Whether he's actually putting you through a session, or he's putting you through just some conversations, some talks about training, some talks about technique, a seminar, a conference, like a NASM, right? Different training certifications. Other people have wrote those certifications. Other people are giving you that knowledge and wisdom. So first things first, it's cool to be self-sufficient. It's cool to be independent, but you need others. And just going back to like working with a professional, going back to working with a trainer, right? I just think it's important, right? To have somebody hold you accountable, even if it's just once a week, just to know somebody is in your corner when it comes to your fitness goals, to inspire you, to walk with you through the trenches, to uplift you when you're doing good, and to lift you up when you're down on yourself, to help you keep going, help you get out of that funk. Because sometimes we got friends, we got family members that don't understand these things, or even if they did, we don't feel comfortable talking to them about these things. So, you know, working with a fitness professional where you can kind of confide in that person and give them your spiel, and give them what's going on, and what's hurting you to be motivated, what's stopping you from overcoming certain tribulations and trials in your life. And to me, that's the main thing about me, because, you know, I feel like I'm a mental trainer. I've already had this conversation on Facebook Live. I already talked to people about being a mental trainer, because the number one thing you gotta do is get to the gym. That's 50% of it. So if you already get to the gym, you already halfway won the battle. But what makes you go to the gym? What pushes you through the gym doors? It's been on your mind, right? It's been on your mind, and since it's been on your mind, you go. So that was a mental win, right? It had to be mental, even though your body was rested, ready to work out. But if your mind doesn't tell it where to go, how can you even be present in the gym? Then from there, we talking about programming, right? Understanding, being knowledgeable about what we're doing. You have to actually think. You actually have to know these things to be sufficient, right? You have to self-educate yourself on certain things, and you know, trial and error, but mentally it's understood. You memorized, right? So, you know, and if we add those things into it, it's more than 50%, maybe more than 75%. They say it's 90% mental, 10% physical. That's what I was told when I was playing ball, right? When I was playing football, the coaches would tell us, you can have the speed, you can have the strength, you can have the size, but if you can't mentally execute the plays and be in the proper gaps, if you can't execute the proper assignment, then you don't do anyone a favor. So that's my thing, right? We need a program, we need structure, we need a blueprint, we need foundation, we need something to get us over the hump. God's will, fitness, ooh.